What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Mom and Papa Joe. Today on the menu is a Weber Kettle brisket. In all the years we've been cooking briskets, we've never thought about doing one on the Weber Kettle. So we're going to make that happen today. You enjoy this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, hit that notification bell. We really appreciate your support. Let's get started. Here's our brisket. Man, I think it's the appropriate size for a Weber Kettle cook. It's a prime, small prime, weighs right at 11.2 pounds. I don't see anything that will take away from what we got. Not going to trim it on camera. I think by now you know we've got trimming videos out there. I will link those and you can take a look if you're interested in more detailed trim. All right, that didn't take very long. Here we are. A couple of 10-11 minutes to get this knocked out, man, and she trimmed out fairly well. Nicely curved edges as opposed to angular. Try to leave about a 1/4 inch of fat on the flat, a little thicker on the thin side. Our silver skin removed nicely, beveled, leaving a little point exposed. Shrink up during the cook, and we're going to get immediately to seasoning. I'm going to be cooking this fat side up, so I'm going to season my meat side first. One of my favorite binders, Maggi, Hugo, very flavorful. 2 parts black pepper, 16 mesh, 1 part kosher salt. We all know by now, brisket is a pretty large piece of meat. Don't be afraid. If you're really into a bark, folks, you need some granular rubs. And 2 parts, 1 part will get it. 3 parts black pepper, 1 part salt if you're salt conscious. That will also do it. I like to season those edges first. And a light coat of bearded butchers. Just from this file for some additional flavoring. It's got some molasses in it, man. Really contributes to a nice color. It's called Bearded Butcher's Black. It's not one of those charcoal infused rubs. And I think we're good. Let's head outside and get this Weber set up. So today we're going to be rocking that cowboy hardwood briquette, man, along with some Western wood, same company, pecan chunks. I've got my old school smokinator set up. I'm probably going to put some water in this pan. Also, it's going to make cleanup a little easier. But it's such close quarters, I feel this is going to benefit from a little additional moisture. So I'm going to fill this. I want to come back with some of this lump. Correction, these chunks. Spread them out. And I think that ought to do us for a couple of 3-4 hours or so. Just gonna pick a corner with my handheld torch, man. I'm just going to hit one spot. I think that ought to do it. I'm gonna give this a couple of 5 or so 10 minutes, man, just to make sure that we're good and going. And we're gonna drop this brisket. All right, we've got some nice, pretty smoke going, man. It's been almost 15 minutes. Our brisket has got a nice sweat going. If you're interested in smoke rings, you gotta make sure that brisket is pretty wet. We've got some boiling hot water in there. I'm gonna come back with the fatty end towards the heat source. Again, you wanna make sure this brisket is positioned how you want it to cook. All right, let's get this lid on, vent holes over the meat to draw smoke, and let the kettle do its thing. We'll probably come back out here in an hour, only because I don't know what's gonna happen. So 1 hour. All right, just a quick temperature check. We're about a half an hour in, and I'm trying to see where this kettle has stabilized in terms of heat. I would love to have it in that 250 to 275 range for the duration of the cook. All right, so we're in that 275 range. What do you know? All right, here we are at that first hour, man. Let's see what we got. Oh, man, it's cooking pretty evenly. We're starting to dry out nicely. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna let this go maybe another 45 minutes to an hour, come back and take a quick check. All right, here we are at that 2 hour mark. I've got my Maggi and beef stock that I'm going to spritz with. Man, we're coming along nicely, bark drying out. There's that low spot I was talking about. At this point, you know what? We're not gonna spritz just yet. We may let this go another half an hour to an hour. Come on back. All right, we're at that 3 hour mark. Man, we are really starting to render nicely. I can see that oil starting to pool in our little indentation, our little low spot. Again, my Maggi, I'm gonna give this just a little misting, man. I don't want this soaked. We're not gonna even worry about rotating or anything. I think we're cooking just fine. But I do want to get this low spot to drain. So I'm gonna go get a piece of foil, roll it up, put it under this end, just to raise that up a little bit. We're gonna try that for a little bit. Hopefully that don't throw off this even coloring that we're getting right now, but we will see in a few. All right, we're at that 4 hour mark, and man, she is looking beautiful. All right, I'm starting to see now the oils starting to render. That fat is getting nice, soft, and squishy. We're still not at the point where I want to wrap or foil boat. I think we're about another hour away. So just one more spritz, and we're gonna call that good for another 45 minutes to an hour. We're draining nicely. We're softening up where we're draining, but that is not a problem. Man, she's looking good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rotate. Foil and all. Alright, let's continue rocking. Alright folks, here we are. I think we're ready to wrap. We are right a little over 5 hours, about 5 hours and 10 minutes, man. And that fat is just soft as I poke it. The rendered oils are just coming out of there. I think we're gonna end up doing a foil boat. So let me get that set up. All right, let's get this knocked out. Got regular aluminum foil. In the past, I've used aluminum foil that's been too thick. And man, it when I crimp the edges, you know, they want to dig into my bark. And I've messed up some pretty perfect bark. So today I'm going with a much thinner piece of aluminum foil to try to prevent that. Still got a little pooling, but I think it's going to dry out. I want to cover up the flat just a hair to protect it. Just gonna, a little more misting. And this brisket is pushing 170 to 175 right now. And on to the back to the pit. And hopefully, man, we are good in the next hour to hour and a half. All right, we are right at a little over 7 hours, man. Almost 7 hours, 15 minutes. So we're just about, give or take, 2 hours and 15 minutes in this foil. And I think we are ready to pull. I really like the way this feels, man. 208 there, 210 there. We're gonna call this good. We're gonna pull and get her inside for a good rest. All right, we've had almost 3 hours of rest, man, and she looks superb. I lost a little bark right here in this spot, but other than that, absolutely perfect. We can push down on that soft rendered fat, man, and see the juices oozing. Some oil left down there, but she looks absolutely beautiful. But the proof is in the pudding. Let's get to slicing. All right, I'm not gonna be pouring no oils over that. I spent a lot of time trying to get this oil to render. Let's see. And make sure I remember which way I'll grain. Again, that nice soft fat. Oh. Oh, perfectly seasoned, man. Oh yeah, man, beautiful. Nice slice, great bark, nice little ring. So yes, that Weber will get it done. Man, that bark is beautiful. And it stays. That bark is not moving. Wow. These are the slices that I really, really love, man. This is what everybody likes to see, man. And there it is. So soft. Burnt in anyone. Oh my goodness. Oh. Tell me, Mama, what do you think?
Wow. Oh my God.
Melts in your mouth. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe. We really appreciate you guys' support. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, man, I don't know what else you need to see. Ring that bell, tell a friend, and join us on our weekly Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time live stream. It's a lot of fun. I want you guys to take care of yourselves, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla.